Hello everyone and welcome to our video entitled, So What Does a Good Financial Advisor Actually Do Anyway? And this one's really important because for most people that haven't worked with a good financial advisor, they don't actually know what that advisor does. So financial advisor, financial planner, the terms are interchangeable. We're going to take you through what a good financial advisor actually does. And this is subtitled, How to Have Even More Confidence, Clarity and Certainty in Your Financial Future. Something we know that's important to most people that do want to succeed when it comes to money. So let's get into it. So let's have a look firstly at a concept we call the game of money. So the game of money is a simple analogy to help people understand that the different stages of financial success. And it's based on the simple understanding of a baseball game. So everyone starts off at home plate, no direction, no plan, no strategy, and some people stay there when it comes to money. Now, most of us move off eventually and we'll move to first base, which is where we'll build strong financial foundations. For most people, this involves buying their first property, whether it's a home or an investment property, and all the grown-up things that come with that. Mortgage, insurances, and all the things around having a property. So that's normally around 30 plus or minus 5 years. Now, eventually, we'll move to a second base, which is where we've got the house, we've paid off a fair bit of it, we've built up some equity, and we start to wonder, what should I be doing next? Should I pay more off the mortgage? Should I put more into super? Should I start to build up a share portfolio? Should I buy an investment property? Do I need a self-managed super fund? Or should I be doing all of those things? Now, this normally happens somewhere around 40 plus or minus 5 years, depending on where people are up to, but it's when they've got a bit of equity in their home. And at that stage, they need to do stuff. And there's often a lot of confusion about the types of things they can do. And often, or usually, when people are confused, they don't do much at all. Third base is somewhere around age 50 or somewhere in the 50s. And that's where retirement is now a real target. People are probably going to retire in the next 5 to 10 years. So all of a sudden, it's time to get serious about setting retirement goals, working out how much you're going to need to retire, and whether you're on track to building the assets that you're going to need for a long, comfortable, stress-free retirement. And home run, when it comes to the game of money, is simply having enough assets that will produce the income you need to live the lifestyle you want in retirement. Another word for that is financial independence. There's many ways you can talk about it, but it's where work becomes optional, where you could work if you chose to, but you don't need to work. How much do you need for that? Well, in Australia, we believe to earn if you've earned good income during your lifetime, you're going to need upwards of 60 to 70,000. And for most of the clients we deal with who've been six-figure income earners at some stage, they would probably want that six-figure income there as well. So let's jump into who we look after, who are our clients, and they occur at all different stages of the game of money. We have people that are already successful. They're independent retirees that have accumulated between $1 to $6 million of investments, and whether that's in super, shares or property doesn't really matter. From those investments, they're earning around 80 to 300,000. And for those people, we help them look after that money, make sure they make the most out of the rules around super, taxes, etc. Make sure their estate planning is up to date and they've got total confidence that their portfolio will continue to deliver the income they need for the rest of their life. Going back a couple of bases, we've got predominantly business owners and professionals, but busy people who are busy in their careers and their businesses, usually between 35 and 50, often families and young families. So once again, second base, they've got the house, got a fair bit of that paid off, got good income from their business or their profession, and usually earning six figures, and once again, waking up and working and trying to work out, what do I do next? Do I buy an investment property? Do I start to build some shares? Do I build some super? Do I pay off the debt? And once again, this is often the confusing stage where people get stuck trying to work out what they're going to do. And I'll share a statistic with you. We talk about how home run here is building that $1 to $6 million of investments. Less than 5% of Australians get there. As I said, most are reliant on a government pension. So it's only about 10% of people that are totally unreliant on the government. And certainly it's a whole nother league for those that are $2 million plus. So why don't people get there? The things that we get people to do would get anyone there. Now, one of the secrets there is most people don't do things. And in another one of our videos, which you can hook into at the end of this, we take you through the 10 reasons that people fail. But it's a paradox because most people say they want to succeed when it comes to money. Most people have financial success as one of their top 3 goals, but most people fail to get there. So very important that we understand that and take the steps to do it. So for those that do consistently do stuff, they will move around these bases or these stages. So ultimately, we also look at clients who are business owners or professionals, including entrepreneurs in their 50s, where they're looking at retiring or semi-retiring in the next 7 years or less, roughly. So these people are often in their 50s and they've got that eye on financial independence and semi-retirement. Now, we also look after people at the start of that financial journey. They'll tend to be young professionals and entrepreneurs getting started, but they're earning or just about to earn really good income. So really important for them that they set up their world well. So let's have a look now at what are the challenges of our clients and the people that come to us. So when they come to us, they're often time poor, busy with life and feel out of control. The current working generation are certainly busy. How often do you hear the words when someone says, "How are you?" They'll reply, "Super busy," crazy busy. Crazy busy gets said a lot. So they're time poor, busy with life. They're confused or challenged about all the changing rules and the options. So which investment markets, do they buy property? Do they buy shares? What about the changing super rules, which are forever changing? Now, once again, when we're confused or challenged with uncertainty, we tend to do nothing, particularly when we're in an amazingly busy world. We're bombarded with messages constantly through our social media, through the regular media, so we don't have time to sit back and think about the things that are really important, and one of those is our financial success. Generally, these people are sick of paying too much tax, and there may be some options available to them, and there may not be. But when you're earning good money, you'll start to realise there's a whole lot of tax going out, and potentially there's things you can do about it. They're not sure exactly what their next steps should be, and as we said, they're uncertain whether they should buy an investment property, and if they are going to buy one, where will they buy it? And should they buy it in a super fund? Should they buy it in their own names? Whose name do they buy it in? All the questions that come up there. Should they get a self-managed super fund or an SMSF? Should they start buying into the share market? And if so, how do they go about doing that? Should they be paying off more debt? And how do they do that? And ultimately, they're generally not sure exactly how much they're going to need for financial independence. So by the time we sit down, what they get is clarity around all those issues. A clear plan that gives them the confidence and the certainty that they're going to get to those goals. So how do we do that? So let's have a look at how we do that. So firstly, we get to know them. Now, we want to get to know them really well. This is a long journey. We've had some of our clients for up to 20 years. So we've got multiple generations in some family. Our aim is to have clients for a lifetime, and it's up to us to look after them, to earn that right to keep looking after them and their families. We want to know who and what's important to them. That's critical before we determine their financial goals. For most people, it's their family, and important to them is doing well, being able to look after their family and live a great life. We have to know and need to know all their financial stuff, details of assets, liabilities, super, income, taxes, insurances, all that stuff that gives most people headaches. Once we get to know them backwards there, we want to help work out their financial goals. Now, most people don't know what financial goals are, so we help them clarify those goals. In particular, how much income they're going to need if they're retired, what that means for all their assets, what they want to spend, house, cars, holidays, all these things are financial goals. So if I want to go on a regular overseas trip every year and it's going to cost me $20,000, that becomes one of my financial goals. If I'm going to need $100,000 of income in retirement to do what I want to do, that becomes one of my financial goals. And who do they want to be able to help? And that is usually family. That could be kids, grandkids, whether that's education, helping them with house deposits, or often it's who they want to be able to help. So often parents or grandparents don't want to actually help unless it's needed. They want to let the kids or grandkids make their own way in the world, which is a really cool thing. But they want to be in a position that if one of their kids or grandkids needs help, that they can do it. They may also have charities or community organisations they'd like to help, and they want to know they're financially well off enough to do that. It's an unfortunate reality that when money's tight, you can't help many people. So one of the great things about financial success and putting yourself in that position is you can help where needed. And they also want to work out what toys they want to own, So whether they want to own a certain type of car, whether they want to own a holiday house, these are all financial goals. Whether it's a yacht, a Harley, any of that good stuff. So we help them work out what those goals are, and importantly, what they're going to need to do to reach those goals. So we come up with the strategies to help them achieve those goals, and that strategy is normally going to involve super strategies, wealth building strategies, how to build wealth using shares, property and super, and how to channel the wealth from their businesses into these into these more passive assets, which they're going to need eventually. It's a sad but true reality that lots of businesses eventually fail, and there's nothing sadder than seeing a business that was once successful fail, and where the owners haven't taken that opportunity of the successful business to set themselves up financially. So we look after their debt, asset protection, tax optimization. So it's not just about minimization, it's about paying the right amount of tax. We've seen plenty of schemes over the years where people go into a scheme or an investment with an idea of paying less tax, and that's exactly what happens, but they also lose a lot of money, and that's not the idea. So tax optimization while wealth building, critically important. And make sure they get their estate planning sorted out. So that's who's going to inherit the assets that they've built when that time eventually comes, and making sure they're prepared for that whenever it comes. Then we make sure we detail the actions that come from those strategies and make sure they take them. In most cases, we actually do all the work for them. We obviously can't sign forms for them, but we make sure that all the actions get taken to achieve those goals. And once those actions are taken, we sit down regularly, at least once a year and twice a year with most of our clients, to review their goals, to review their actual situation, and to make sure they're on track. And we stay really close to our clients so that we can help them to continue to make good decisions and avoid all the big mistakes, which is two of the most critical things in their long-term financial success. So continuing to make good decisions and avoiding all the mistakes, the big and the small ones, that can lead to people not succeeding when it comes to financial success in the game of money. So ultimately, we help them win that game of money to build $1 million to $6 million worth of nest egg assets, which will allow them to have a six-figure income for the rest of their life and do the things they want to do in their retirement. To make sure that your finances are totally under control and everything organised, and total confidence in achieving their goals. So who are we? My name's Rob McGregor. As I said, I'm the co-founder and principal advisor of McGregor Wealth Management. We used to be called Whole McGregor Financial Services up until recently. It's focused now, the name has changed just to represent the fact that there's one predominant advisor, that's myself. I work with a team of 5 other people, including one other advisor, to make sure our clients are well looked after. So it's a really high quality team, but you will have one primary contact being the principal, which is myself, as your financial advisor. I'm also the co-founder of a group called GPS Wealth, which I'll touch on in a minute, and still a director of that company. I've been providing advice to my clients for nearly 20 years now. We've still got clients that we started dealing with in 1998, and in some cases we're dealing with other members of their family and their kids. So I've been doing it for a while, and more experience before that. I was an accountant for 14 years before that in Melbourne, in Collins Street, working for lots of fund managers, stockbrokers and banks, and accumulating my experience in that financial services industry before moving the family up to the lovely Sunshine Coast where I live now, and starting the business of Whole McGregor Financial Services. Picked up a few awards over the years and have built some businesses with my partner Greg Holman. We built Holman's Accounting and Whole McGregor into businesses that won the Business of the Year twice, Sunshine Coast Business of the Year, won some awards out of BW, and I've picked up a few advisor awards along the way as well. GPS Wealth, the group we created, that's the Australian Financial Service Licence we operate under, which started just 5 years ago, for the last 2 years has won Best Group of the Year, and in the IFA Awards, which is the Independent Financial Advice Awards, we won the Best Group there as well. So they're nice awards, but what they really mean is that we have a proven track record of giving advice that really is in the best interest of our clients. And it sounds even weird that I have to say that, but much of our industry comes from institutions that manufacture products, whether that's investment, superannuation or insurance products, and 83% of the industry works for companies that are product manufacturers or owned by those companies. So we work in the non-aligned space, so our GPS Wealth is owned by the advisors and accountants that make that up, and we aim to give advice that's as broad and diverse as possible. Hence, we like property, we like shares, we like super and all those things. That's enough about me. Back to you. What should you do about what you've just heard and seen? You can do nothing, and that's all good. I hope you've got something out of this video. You can talk to us tonight at this function. If you're watching this online, you can hit us up via email and have a chat about the sort of things we can do. We can have very quick conversations over the phone. We've got a tool we call our Wealth Potential Calculator, and we can very quickly tell you the type of potential you could be in. And if you give me a business card tonight, I'll email you a free video file. So that video is Financial Planning Fundamentals for busy high-income earners. So it's subtitled How to Make Sure You Have an Even Better Financial Future. And it's a step-by-step process showing a detailed case study on how to build a six-figure income for life. So it's designed for this specific one for busy high-income earners who are professionals or business people who are somewhere in that age range, probably of 40 to 55, and who want to make sure they've got a great financial future. We've recorded this, so this will be on our website as well. So if you're watching this from our website, you can click on the link below to get your copy of that video as well. And if you're interested in financial success, and particularly the success for your family and doing something about it, we'd love to talk to you. Thanks. My name's Rob McGregor, and hopefully I'll catch you at some stage.